Right, guys, so we left you last night with the results from the pickaxe hold. Traditionally at World's Strongest Man, it takes a while for the next events to happen, and we were pretty tired. So we went to bed, and typically the results came in quite thick and fast.
They were coming in as our video was uploaded.
Yeah.
I was like, no!
But we thought we'd wait till the morning, do a better video, because we want it to be quality for you guys to watch. So we thought very quickly we'd just explain the rules of the way World's Strongest Man works in terms of athletes tied on points.
Yes.
So as a stupid example, say Liz and myself went head to head on the pickaxe hold. She won.
Yes.
And we were both on the same points. Because she beat me on that last event, she goes through as a group winner. Or for people that are lower down, so we had two athletes. We had Alexei Novikov and Kevin tied on points in third and fourth position. Kevin went through to do the stone off because he beat Alexei's time on the pickaxe hold. So that's how it works at World's Strongest Man. That's not how it works in every single strongman competition. Often they go on countback, which is who placed the highest on the most events or who had event wins.
And funnily enough, had they gone on countback, Alexei would have been in the stone off. So.
Yeah. So we might do a video looking at results from all the groups and comparing
how it could have
but
changed
today
things.
We're going to focus on the athletes that went through to the stone off. You already know 5 guys that are into the final. Let's take a look at the results from each of these stone battles.
So they've changed the stone off, last man standing, whatever you want to call it, again this year. And they wanted to give a true advantage to second place over third place. Because before we've seen a great example, 2019, Trey versus Novikov on the stones. Novikov was way ahead of Trey in terms of points, but because Trey won the stones, Novikov wasn't able to progress through to the finals. So this year, what they did, they had a normal stone run, and then at the end they would be repping a heavy stone. So the guy who was in third place had to go first, and then the guy who was in second place in the group overall just had to match him. So the minute third place fails, second place is through.
Yeah, so for third place to beat second place, they would have to do an extra stone.
Yes.
Whereas the second place only ever had to match the guy in third place.
Yes. It's very strange how they come up with these things.
Good to see that they did give an advantage to the guy that's worked hard to get those extra points, because they haven't always.
No, but I will never support any form of stone off, no matter how you want to dress it up. So
group number 1, we'd already had Brian Shaw qualify, and then we had Maxime Boudreau and Ivor Schmuckstelis going head to head on the stones. Very, very good performances from both these guys. Both managing 7 stones.
Yeah.
Maxime going through though as he matched Ivor's, and Ivor's couldn't then do the 8th rep.
So in group 2, Trey Mitchell had already won the group after the pickaxe hold, and then we had Tom Stoltman and Mark Felix on the stone off. Mark failed the 6th rep, and Tom, you don't want to be in a stone off with Tom,
I was kind of looking at the results thinking, I thought Mark could have done better than that. Now, obviously I wasn't there, I don't know how tired he is from all the other events, but I trained with Mark about a month ago, and he looked really, really good. I'm just wondering if Tom was just throwing them over so easily that he just knew.
Yeah.
You know, he might have been able to get 8, but he knew Tom would get 9.
Might have got in Mark's head a little bit, because he's not like a head-to-head sort of battler, is he?
No, he's better on the kind of events where you're just focusing on the implements rather than seeing that
person opposite you.
And on stones, that's the last man you want to see going head to
head. Oh yeah, you don't want to see Tom's face when you're trying to get stone.
I've been against Tom on stone runs before, and it's horrible because you're like a few stones in and he's finished. Yeah,
demoralising, isn't it?
So group number 3, we had Ethor versus Robert Oberst. JF obviously winning the group. Ethor managing to take the win here. They both did 5 reps. Unfortunately, Rob couldn't get that 6 reps, so Ethor, incredible. This guy gets better and better every time I see him.
We've only seen him 3 times, we should point out.
Well, I mean, I've seen him the last 2 years in a few contests, and he's just improving rapidly. To make your final, I mean, he was World's Strongest Man last year. The experience has done him good. We saw him in Bahrain earlier this year, looked really good, and he's improving again. I didn't have him picked to make the final, but congratulations to Ethor, what a performance.
So group 4, Konstantin Janasha had already qualified. Then we had Adam Bishop and Jerry Pritchett, who were the only 2 other athletes remaining in that group, because we've had 2 athletes have to withdraw from that group. So It was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it? And
It was.
Jerry was injured. He's torn a labrum and all sorts going on with Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry clearly not able to perform. 2 stones is all they managed. Obviously, Adam just needed to match that.
Yeah.
Adam Bishop into the final again. So great to see another Brit in there. He's got some great events in the final as well. And it was pretty similar for Adam last year. Not so good in the heats. But by the time the final came round, the events were so much better. He performed really well. And I know there's some events he's really looking forward to, such as the medley with the yoke and frame.
Yes.
And particularly the deadlift. He's an awesome deadlifter, particularly for reps and from higher points. So interesting to see how Adam will do on those. Now, finally, crazy group number 5.
I've calmed down.
You calmed down since last night.
I've had a few hours sleep. I feel a bit better about it now.
So for those that were watching last night, or if you've been following online, the group was extremely tight. I mean, you know, it was 18 points for 2 of the guys and 17 points for 2 of the other guys. We explained earlier why Bobby takes the win over Luke and why Kevin takes the win over Novikov. So Bobby winning the group. Then we had the stone off between Kevin and Luke Stoltman, and this in Group 1, I believe, were the best performances on the stones. Luke taking the win, 7 repetitions. Kevin couldn't get that 8th, and because Luke was in 2nd place, he just had to match him. So interestingly, that advantage has helped every single guy that was in 2nd.
Yeah, and that might be a coincidence. You never know. It might just be that they happen to be the better stone
Well,
lifter.
I think it makes you have to be that much better at stones to kind of
to get
someone
past that other person.
Yeah, because these are all the best guys in the world. When we talk about the best in the world, they're all good at every event to a degree. Then you need to be so much better to really get that far ahead on something when you're going for like that extra rep.
Yeah.
And there could have been battles, but all the battles were fairly close in terms of ability. So it is tough to then you've kind of mentally got to think. You're looking at how your opponent brings that stone back.
Yeah.
And if they're just throwing it over and you're sort of tiring, you're thinking, Jesus, I don't know if I've got one more rep in me. Or even you think, I've got one more rep, but he looks really good for 2 or 3.
He looks fresher than me, yeah.
And that will get into their heads. So there we go. That's the stone off done. Let's take a look at our 10 finalists for the World's Strongest Man 2021.
So from Group 1, we have Brian Shaw, the 4-time winner of World's Strongest Man, back for his 13th consecutive final. Can he get that elusive 5th title?
So next up we have Maxime Boudreau from Canada. 2 Canadians in the final this year. Maxime in his first ever final, he is going to be looking to hit that top 5. Next up we have Trey Mitchell winning Group number 2, ahead of last year's 2nd place Tom Stoltman. He's an amazing stone lifter, he's got some really good events. It's another American into the final.
We have Scotland's Tom Stoltman back for his 3rd final. He placed 2nd last year. Can he better it? Next we have Canada's JF Caron. He's back for his 9th World's Strongest Man final. Last year he hit the podium for the first time, taking 3rd place. Can he do better this year?
Our next athlete from Iceland, Ethor Ingolson Melstead. First time in the World's Strongest Man final, and he'll be looking to keep up the tradition of incredible Icelandic strongmen.
Next is the Georgian bull, Konstantin Janasha. He's made the final every year he's competed. This is his 5th final, with his highest placing being 4th in 2016.
And back for his 3rd final, Britain's Strongest Man, Adam Bishop. He placed 6th in 2020. Can he better that this year?
Next, they call him the American Nightmare. I don't buy it for 1 second. The teddy bear, Bobby Thompson, in 2nd appearance at World's Strongest Man and is 1st in the final.
And finally, rounding out the athletes, the one and only Luke Stoltman. He was in the group of death. He's performed incredibly well. Such a consistent performance so far. It's his 2nd final. His best placing in the past is 7th. I expect him to smash this year. Okay guys, there you have it. We've got the 10 finalists of World's Strongest Man. We're going to go and have a look at who we think is going to be winning. We're going to do our predictions. I just want to point out of the heats, I had 6 right and you only had 4.
I only had 4. I cannot account for injuries. You cannot, do your prediction, go, he'll get injured. That's terrible. So, injuries really messed me up.
So we're going to go, with your methodical kind of approach.
I'm scrapping that. I'm going with my heart. My heart will rule.
Right, guys, we're going to go and work out our predictions. Comment below with who you guys think is going to win. It's going to be an amazing final. 10 incredible strongmen.
It's a beautiful final, isn't it? A beautiful list of athletes for the final. I think it's really exciting this year.
I think it's going to be amazing.
While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.